Thank you, Honourable Speaker, and I thank the Honourable Member for the question on the leptospirosis outbreak. Honourable Speaker, the Ministry of Health and Medical Services declared an outbreak for leptospirosis within the Central Division. There have been 69 confirmed cases and others that we suspect from January this year, with 18 requiring admission to CWM Hospital. The majority of the cases are from 1 to 29, 1 to 19 and also to 20 to 29 age groups. There have been 4 deaths of leptospirosis in the Central Division so far. And we are not alone. Around the world, towards the end of last year, there have been several outbreaks of leptospirosis. In Philippines, in the Olango city, on September 20th, they had a very severe monsoon rain. 2 weeks later, on October 7th, they had 210 cases and 6 deaths. I'm not sure whether the numbers kept on rising or not. Also in the Philippines, in Manila, on June the 9th, there were 1,030 cases and 93 deaths. And by August, it was 1,227. In Israel, up in the Golan Heights, there was 462 reported cases on August last year. And interestingly, in France, a kayaking club up in the northwest of France, in Brittany, there was an outbreak of leptospirosis. It was thought it came from the place they were kayaking in. Also, interestingly, in October the 5th, there was an alert out in Boston. This is in Boston, in America, where there was an outbreak of leptospirosis in dogs in the Boston area. So we were not alone in terms of leptospirosis outbreak. It is a disease caused by bacteria that affects both humans and animals. And we get leptospirosis through the urine of infected animals. And this happens with contact through mud, water, or food with the urine of infected animals. And looking at the first two, mud and water, is something that we are not immune to in Fiji. And people who work with animals, example farmers, are at a higher risk of getting this disease. And this is often what we see when we have a leptospirosis outbreak, and it's common in the Central Division. And it's also affecting people who do non-animal related work. The recent heavy rains and flooding are likely to have contributed to the increase in cases in the Central Division. The animals that may spread the disease through the infected urine include rats, dogs, cattle, pigs, horses, and mongooses. And as I've said earlier, Honourable Speaker, commonly it happens in the rural areas with our farmers. What we've seen is a change towards the peri-urban area. And so instead of thinking in terms of farm animals, in terms of cattle, pigs, and horses, we're now beginning to think, is it because of the rats and the mouse and so forth that may also contribute towards causing this in our peri-urban area. The symptoms, again, can be quite vague. They are high fever, chills, headaches, muscle aches, commonly around the calves and the back, nausea and vomiting. They may have jaundice, which is yellowing of the skin and eyes. They may have red eyes, abdominal pain, diarrhea, shortness of breath, and rash. And World Health Organization, when they described leptospirosis, described it as a zoonosis of worldwide distribution. So it's not limited to Fiji, endemic in places with humid subtropical or tropical climates with epidemic potential. And the other part is what is very interesting. It peaks occasionally due to climate change. And that's why it's important that we continue to champion the efforts around climate change. Honourable Speaker, the Ministry continues to encourage and make awareness and urging members of the public that if any or a family member may have signs or symptoms, they are to visit the nearest healthcare facility. Without treatment, Honourable Speaker, leptospirosis can lead to kidney damage, meningitis, which is a swelling of the brain and the surroundings of the brain, or the coverings of the brain, liver failure, respiratory distress, and even death. Early treatment with antibiotics administered by a doctor is key to preventing complications and deaths. Honourable Speaker, leptospirosis can be prevented. You and I can prevent getting leptospirosis by avoiding contact, and also this includes avoiding wading, swimming in the waters that may be contaminated, the wearing of protective clothing when we work outside with livestock, even walking outside in our peri-urban community, regular household cleaning and de-ratting of our houses and households, and keeping food and eating utensils away from rats and pets and the washing of fruits and vegetables before we consume them. Honourable Speaker, the question is, what have we done? As the August House would remember, in the month of December, we were very proactive in our stating out there in the community that with the changes in the weather, with PD3F and also Tropical Cyclone Mona, just issuing alerts and asking the public to be aware on the possibility of infectious diseases, and also to practice safe hygiene practices. Medical officers also in the Central Division have been alerted. They were alerted to the outbreak of leptospirosis to encourage early recognition, treatment, and referral of cases as required. We also have a Fiji leptospirosis clinical guidelines that our doctors and our front coalface staff know of, but we actually reissued again so that they can be able to refresh their memory, and refresher training on the guidelines was organized. We also developed a task force like we did for MENC. Honourable Speaker, the Central Division and Subdivisional Outbreak Response Teams, SORT, which includes our environmental health officers, have been working closely with the Ministry's Center for Communicable Disease Control to conduct investigations and public health awareness and interventions, including household inspections in the community. The public also have been advised through mass media advertisements on the prevention of leptospirosis. Honourable Speaker, we also urge Parliament to be an example to the communities in advocating for awareness for the early recognition and prevention of the disease. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.